What's up, and welcome to another episode of Glow Up Sister. This is going to be a quick one because I just have a little something I want to get off my chest. If it's your first time listening, hey, what's up and hello. This is a community for the girls as we glow and grow together. We heal, we learn, we aspire, we create, we become on this mission together where no woman gets left behind. I wanted to take a minute and check in with you as we prepare for Q2. We are entering the second quarter of the year. I don't know about you, but the first 3 months of this year have not been what I expected them to be. So I just want this to be a reminder that it's not over. We're just getting started, as a matter of fact. Even as we go into Q2, I want you to look back at some of the things that you set out to do for 2025. I don't want you to give up on yourself just yet. I know for myself that in the health department, I am lacking. Boy, I have not been to the gym this year, but I'm giving myself grace. I want to start by doing 10,000 steps every day for the month of April. I want to eat better. February, I was eating really great because we were on our vegetarian tip, but March just went downhill, and I want to see myself pick back up again, but I also want to give myself grace. I don't want to be too hard on myself. And I want you to extend that same grace to yourself, whether it's in the area of your health, whether it's in the area of your career, whether it's personal goals that you have set for yourself that you have not been showing up for. It's not too late to get your head in the game. We're doing this life thing together. We're figuring it out together. This is the first time we've ever done life. And so sometimes we're not going to get it right, and that's okay. I just wanted to encourage you, keep your head up. We're just getting started. There is still so much that can come out of this year. When I was a kid, I couldn't wait to grow up. It was something special about feeling like you were grown and you have it all figured out and you know everything and the world is your oyster and you can do what you want and you have freedom to sleep when you want and eat what you want. I never realized the level of responsibility that came with the adulting that I wanted so bad. I've been feeling quite reflective lately, and I think because I'm on the tail end of my 20s, a lot of my reflection comes from wanting to heal my inner child sometimes. And so when I show up to certain situations, when I create certain things, if you didn't know, I wrote a book that's coming out this year, but I'm also in the middle of writing a short story that I want to drop before that book comes out. I was writing the other day, and as I was editing and proofreading, I was reading it back and I realized that I'm actually writing the story that the younger version of me needed. And that got me thinking, and that got me into this very reflective mode. And upon my reflection, I started thinking of the things that I wish I knew about my 20s when I was younger. Because as a teenager, I fantasized about growing up and getting my own apartment and doing whatever I want, wearing whatever I want, nobody telling me what I'm going to do or when I'm going to do it or how I'm going to do it. In hindsight, there are things that I wish I knew about adulthood before I was just thrown into it. But hey, we're here now. What I wish I knew about my 20s. I don't know what season of life I find you in. I don't know the things that are keeping you up at night and the things that you're struggling to grapple with. But I do know that there's strength in community, and whatever it is you're going through and whatever it is you're facing, you're probably not the first person to face it. So I want to create this space where we can have these conversations and empathize with each other and just go through life together. So use this as your minute to just check in with yourself. And if you want to journal, I highly suggest you do. But even if you just want to self-regulate and have a minute with yourself, then that's what this is for. I have been dwelling on this root scripture for a minute now. It's Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. As I dream and hope and aspire to what I'm about to walk into, the season I'm about to walk into, the things that I'm about to do, whether that be career-wise, community-wise, with my family, with my friends, I want to also take time to savor the moment. And I know I talk about it a lot because I need the reminder a lot myself. Knowing that there's a certain season for everything means that you create room to actually enjoy the season that you're in, to live it, to experience it. Even if it's not the best experience, the lessons that you're pulling out of that season are always going to be necessary ones. So our root scripture today is, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. I don't know who this is for, but I want to remind you that you are not in a rush. You are not in a hurry. You are not in a race. You are right where you need to be at the exact time that you're supposed to be there. If that's not for you, it's for me. With that being said, I want us to dive into 5 things that I wish I knew about my 20s. The first is this: your worth is not measured by your productivity. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. In the words of Jay-Z, I'm a hustler, baby. Hold on, wait. Not even like that. I meant the song like, I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. Now, I just want to love ya. Maybe that wasn't the best reference to make. I've always been somebody who hustles. I've always been somebody who works hard and somebody who takes on a lot more than is expected of me. And I think, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with my childhood, where I think I was rewarded for going the extra mile, or I was rewarded for being more mature, or for stepping into a role that required more of me. I was rewarded for all of those things. And so I think I've carried that into the way that I live my life now. So for a very long time, I measured my worth by my productivity. If I was working hard, if I was getting my degree while working full time, if I was juggling 10,000 things at once, I measured my worth by how hard I was working and what I was putting in. In due time, I realized that my worth is actually not measured by my productivity. And I've learned to value rest. I've learned that no is a full answer. You don't have to say yes to everything. You don't have to stretch yourself thin. I know people say a lot like, you can't pour from an empty cup, and it sounds so cliche, but it's true. You cannot find your value in your productivity, because the God that you serve loves you just as you are. Before he formed you in your mother's womb, he knew you as you were. Before you ever did a thing, before you ever breathed your first breath, he knew you and he loved you. There's nothing that you can do to make yourself more valuable, to make yourself more worthy in God's eyes. So working yourself to no end is just not the thing to do. Thing number 2 that I wish I knew in my 20s. And this one is kind of a cheat because I figured it out. I figured it out in my 20s, but I wish I knew it in my early 20s. Your glow up is an inside job. I know we talk about the glow up a lot, but in actuality, your glow up is an inside job. I think we've touched on this before, but when we do the inner work, we then start to radiate on the outside as a result of the inner work that we have done. We can't slap on a wig and some lipstick and your glow up is done. Your glow up starts from the inside. Oddly enough, I was on a Bible study call this weekend, which, by the way, shameless plug, but we do those once a month around here. So if you do want to join, drop us a message and we'll get you plugged into the community so you can join us on those calls. But we're talking on the call about how things change when you are connected to your source. When your prayer life is strong and when you are connected to your source, you radiate on the outside. And it might not even be anything that you've done to change your skincare routine or whatever it is that you do in your day to day. You're not showering more times than you do normally. You're not brushing your hair more times than you do. You haven't changed your skincare routine or your makeup routine. But because you are connected to your source, you're feeding yourself from the inside and you're radiating on the outside as a result thereof. So yeah, your glow up truly starts on the inside and it works its way out. Number 3, relationships should feel safe and not exhausting. And now I'm talking all relationships. I think a lot of the times when we talk about relationships, we put it under the umbrella of romantic relationships, but even platonic relationships, your friendships, your relationships with your family members, your relationship with anybody that you are in community with, anybody that is connected to you that you can say you have relationship with, it should never be exhausting. Your relationships should feel safe. You should feel that there's a level of trust. You should feel okay to be yourself. Have you ever been in a situation where you are with someone that you're just getting to know? So you're still on your best behavior, like you're not being all the way weird like that yet. I was on the phone with a friend the other day, and I think I've reached a level in that friendship where I don't care. Like, I don't, You could think I'm weird. You've seen me in enough weird circumstances and situations that there is no more filter. I just show up as who I am. And I caught myself like just making animal noises on the call, and there was no reaction. There was no like, that's weird. It was a level of comfortability. And I say all that to say that within that friendship, there has been a safe space that has been created where I can show up silly and goofy and vulnerable at times. I can show up wise when I need to be. I can show up in the multiple facets of myself in any relationship that is safe. And that's what I wish for you in every relationship that you would embark on. Number 4 is trust the timing of your life. I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me. Give me grace because I'm still in my 20s, but I'm just figuring this one out. You have to trust the timing of your life. There have been times where I wanted something by a certain day. I wanted something by a certain year. There was a cutoff point that I set in my mind. By 25, I have to have X amount of money in my account, and I have to have this, and I have to have achieved that, and I have to have this job title. And 25 came, and I didn't have those things that I knew I had to have at 25. And in hindsight, I had to trust the timing of my life, because if they came prematurely, I wouldn't have been equipped to handle them. If I saw then what I know now, I'd be grateful to not have the things that I wanted so badly. When you trust the timing of your life, you surrender it to an all-knowing God. You surrender it to a God who loves you so much that he wants to protect you from what you can't yet see. So you trust the timing of your life and know that every step that you take is ordained. Every step I'm taking is ordained, and I'm right where I need to be when I need to be there. The 5th and final thing I wish I knew in my 20s is that the best version of you is already inside you. You don't have to go searching for her. You don't have to become her. You don't have to be someone that you're not to find that best version of you. You just have to dig deep, and she's right there. Granted, sometimes it'll take a little healing. It'll take a little uprooting. It'll take a little learning and unlearning, becoming and unbecoming, but she was right there all along. God has called you to shake some, whether that's in the industry that you work in the family that you were born into. He has given you ideas. He has given you vision. He has given you purpose. You don't have to go looking for the best version of yourself, because I'm looking at her. She's right here. And in case you needed reminding, you are exactly where you need to be right now. Don't look to your left and right to see what anybody else is doing. Your path is yours. Your journey is yours. It is uniquely created for you. There is nobody else that can do you the way you do you. There is nobody else who is called to what you are called to, and to do it in such a unique way, in an intricately unique way, because you serve a unique God. You serve a God of outside the box. You serve a God who does greater than you can ask, think, or imagine. One who cares for you and one who cares about the details. So trust me when I say you are exactly where you need to be. Even if the going gets rough, even if it doesn't feel like you're going to come up for water anytime soon, even if you feel drained and exhausted, I want you to trust and believe that you are exactly where you need to be. If you watch the podcast, you'll know that today took a little bit of a different format than we normally do. Bear with me while I figure it out. I like the setting that we have. If you haven't realized, we meet like this in my living room every time, because I really just want it to be a cool girl chat vibe. Let your hair down. I might just show up in my pajamas one day just because, but that's the vibe that I want to create. I want to create a safe space where you can show up in the fullness of who you are. And as you watch or as you listen, I want this to be time that you take away for yourself to be reflective and to think of some of the topics and the things that we discuss. With that being said, bear with me while I figure out the structure for how we do these episodes. I'm going to just keep trying stuff out and pray that you're blessed by it, and pray that you're blessed by this community. I know I am, and I might sound a little biased, but the community that we have built here has genuinely been a blessing to me in my own life. And so I'm really grateful for you. I'm also so proud of you for showing up for yourself. I want you to know that there's a reason for the very breath that is in your lungs. I want you to know that God has called you for a time and a season such as this. He is raising up a generation of people that's about to shake some, and I know that you're one of them. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for trusting me to be a part of your glow up journey. And thank you for opening your heart to our community as we continue to grow. God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next one.